Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use view binding with Fragments and Kotlin. So let's get into it. Okay, so here we are in Android Studio, and if you want to use view binding, you just have to create a new project with the basic activity template and it will set most of the things up for you. Now, if for whatever reason you didn't use the basic activity template or it didn't get generated for whatever reason, here's how you would be able to use it. Now, as you can see here, we have both our main activity.kt using view binding as well as the generated fragments using view binding. So I'm going to go ahead and create a blank fragment and I'm going to call it third fragment. And we're going to choose its language as Kotlin and click finish. So Android Studio will go ahead and add those files for us and Gradle will sync. Now once that is done, Android Studio usually gives us a lot of junk. And first clear this error. I don't know why it's using the support package instead, the support library instead of the Android X library. Android Studio can sometimes have its moods. Now let's just get rid of all this clutter they give us with our generated fragment. Yeah, okay, so here you can see that the way we are referencing our layout, our third_fragment layout, is via the r.layout.fragment_third. That will force us to use find view by ID, but we don't want that. We want to use view binding. So instead, in the fragment class, we are going to first of all create a binding object. Now these binding classes are generated for each layout file, for each fragment or activity and its layout file when you create new ones. But first, before we use our binding, our view binding, we need to make sure that in our build.gradle file we have this little block inside the Android block, which is build features view binding true. If it's not there, just type it out and you'll be fine. Otherwise, it should be there. I'm also going to go ahead and remove this Android support v4 because we use Android X, and for some reason this latest version of Android Studio still references that. Okay, so back inside our class, after Android Studio has synced to Gradle, we are going to create a new variable. It's going to be a private var, and we're going to give it the name _binding. And it's going to be of type fragment third binding. We're going to give it the value of null and question mark there to keep Android Studio happy. Okay, once that's done, we're going to create another variable, and this time it's going to be a val, so private val, and it's going to be called binding without the underscore. I'm going to put get, and then we're going to make it equal to our _binding. Add 2 of those to keep Android Studio happy. Okay, inside our onCreate view is where we want to inflate our view, but instead of using r.layout.fragment_third, we're going to use the binding object. And up here, actually it's supposed to be fragment third, not fragment first, my mistake. Fragment third binding equals now. We're going to alt enter to import that class. So down here is where we're going to use it. We're going to do _binding is equal to fragment third binding dot inflate, and inside the parentheses we're going to use inflator, container, and false for our arguments, parameters, whatever you like to call them. And then down here we are going to return binding.root. So we are returning binding.root, not _binding root. Okay, so we're almost ready to use our binding object. One more thing is that we want this binding object to only be valid between onCreate and onDestroy. So in onDestroy view, we're going to have to set it back to null. So we're going to override Control-O onDestroy view. Now we're going to keep the super call, super.onDestroy view, and then inside here we're going to do underscore binding equals to null. And now we're ready to use our binding object. So say in our third fragment we have this text view. Let's give it an ID of third text view. So inside our fragment underscore third, if we wanted to reference that, we would say val third text equals to binding. So our normal binding on binding dot third text view. There we go, and we can use whatever we want to use. We can do whatever we want to do with this. So there you have it, guys. That's how you can use view binding with Fragments and Kotlin. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, please consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell so you don't miss when I post new videos. If you're looking for my other videos on how to use view binding, say in Java with activities, Kotlin with activities, or Java and Fragments, check the link in the description. You'll find what you need there. Or you can click this pop-up here or check out this playlist, and I will see you in the next video.